All right. What do you know about drones?
I don't know. They seem to come to my place to play pinball every day.
The drones?
Well, they seem half brain dead.
All right. Well, I'm talking about this, with modern technology as it is. People are building these guys who are into building these drones,
right,
with cameras on them,
right.
Well, the laws are changing around the country with people who fly these drones over their neighborhoods.
Okay.
And have cameras attached to them.
Right.
And there is no, in a lot of areas, there are no laws that govern this.
Okay.
So people are concerned about their privacy because these drone operators are operating these drones over private property.
Sure.
And, surveilling them with camera.
Right.
And the question is are they allowed to do that? And if you own a property or whatnot, do you own the airspace above your property?
Right.
So are you aware of this?
I'm not, no. Not really.
Well, apparently some people are put off by these drones. They feel like they're being invaded or their privacy are being invaded.
Okay.
So they've been taking evasive action in actually shooting these drones out of the air.
Oh yeah.
So there's a legal battle going on in the states, in various states.
Okay.
Where people have shot drones out of the air.
Okay.
And the question is are they allowed to do that? Are the people who are flying the drones allowed to fly their drones above people's properties? The question is what are your rights?
Sure. Okay.
So a woman shoots a drone. She says it hovered for seconds and I blasted it to smithereens.
Okay.
With a single gunshot blast, a 65-year-old woman in rural North Virginia recently shot down a drone flying over her property.
Okay.
The woman, Jennifer Youngman, has lived in Plains, Virginia since 1990.
All right.
It marks the third such shooting that ARS has reported on in the last 15 months. Last year, a similar drone shooting took place in Kentucky and California.
Wow.
Youngman told ARS that she just returned from church one Sunday morning. Now, I think this woman is a woman after your own heart here.
Okay.
And she was cleaning her two shotguns.
Nice.
A 410 bore and a 20 gauge.
She single?
Apparently. She came home from church to clean her guns.
I could do without the church part. But...
Well, she was sitting on her porch cleaning her guns.
All right. I like it.
She had a clear view of the Blue Ridge Mountains and a neighbor who is Robert Duvall, the actor.
Oh, wow.
His property lies right next to Youngman's.
Okay.
Youngman had seen two men set up a card table on what she described as a turnaround place on a country road adjacent to her house.
Okay.
I go on minding my own business, working on my 410 shotgun, and the next thing I know, I hear this buzzing noise. This thing is going down through the field, and they're buzzing like you were scaring the cows.
All right.
Youngman explains that she grew up hunting and fishing in Virginia, and she was well practiced at skeet shooting.
Okay.
This drone disappeared over the trees, and I was cleaning away. There must have been a 5 or 6 minute lapse. Then I heard the buzzing sound, she said, noting that she specifically used a 7.5 birdshot. I loaded my 20 gauge shotgun and took the safety off, and this thing came flying over the trees. I don't know if they lost command of it or what, but they didn't have a good command, but the wind had picked it up. It came over my airspace 25 or 30 feet above my trees and hovered for a second, and I blasted it to smithereens. So she shot this drone out of the air.
Nice. Did they arrest May?
Well,
the person.
Exactly. When the men began to walk toward her, she told them squarely, "The police are up here in the plains and they are on their way and you need to leave."
Okay.
The men complied. They got in their fancy, ostentatious car.
Nice word.
I don't know if there was a Range Rover or a Hummer, and they left.
Right.
The Times said many locals believe that drone pilots have been paparazziing or celebrity spotting near Duvall's property.
Jeez.
Youngman said she recycled the drone, but managed to still be irritated by the debris left behind. "I've had 2 punctures in my lawn tractor," she said. The Fuqua County Sheriff's Office said it had no record of anyone formally complaining about the incident. When ARS asked if the officer had heard of any similar incidences in the region, Sergeant James Hartman replied, "It happened around the country, but not in this region to my knowledge." All right. Now here's the gray zone.
Okay.
Where people flying drones around and spying on you. You know, American law does not recognize the concept of aerial trespass. But as the consumer drone age has taken flight, legal scholars have increasingly wondered about the situation. The best case law on the issue dates back to 1946, long before inexpensive consumer drones were technically feasible. That year, the Supreme Court ruled in a case known as the United States versus Cosby, not Bill Cosby, but Cosby, that a farmer in North Carolina could assert property rights up to 83 feet in the air.
Who knew that?
Well, according to the Supreme Court, they said that 83 feet above your property is yours.
How'd they come up with 83 instead of 100?
Well, it had to do with the height of flying objects.
Okay.
In that case, American military aircraft were flying above his farm, disturbing his sheep and upsetting his chickens.
Yeah.
I'm surprised they didn't have a safe space for them.
Yeah, they need one.
They need a place to go because they're upset.
That's right.
As such, the court found he was owed compensation. However, the same decision also specifically mentioned a minimum safe altitude for flight at 500 feet, leaving the zone between 83 and 500 feet as a legal gray area.
Okay.
The landowner owns at least as much of the space above the ground as he can occupy or use in connection with the land. Last year, a pilot in Stanislaus, Stanislaus County in California, filed a small claim lawsuit against a neighbor who shot down his drone, and they won. However,
they beat the neighbor?
Apparently.
Okay.
Because the guy just, ruined his personal property.
Right.
However, it is not clear whether the pilot managed to collect. Similarly, a case ensued in Kentucky after a man shot down a drone that he believed was flying above his property. The shooter in that case was cleared of local charges, including the wanton endangerment.
Okay.
But earlier this year, the Kentucky drone pilot, David Boggs, asked a federal court in Louisville to make a legal determination as to whether his drone flight constituted trespassing.
Right.
Boggs asked that the court to rule that there were no trespass and that he was therefore entitled to damages of $1,500 for destroying his drone.
Okay.
The case is still pending. Youngman said she believed the Second Amendment right and was also irritated that people would try to disturb Duvall. The man is a national treasure, and they should leave him alone. Leave him the fuck alone, she said.
Yeah, the fuck alone.
Yeah. So that's it. So basically, this drone's flying around out there, and she shot it out of the sky.
Good for her.
So what would you do being an arms guy, Mr. Aiken? Would you shoot a drone out of the sky if it was hovering over your property?
In a minute. In an absolute second. You know, don't, especially with the camera. I don't know if did I ever tell the story about the guy taking pictures of me?
Was this during one of your lawsuits?
During my lawsuit, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I may have told you. I don't think I've ever told on air, have I? I don't think so.
I don't know.
I could tell it. So when after I got smoked, you know, I was off work for 4 years, and the workers' comp people followed me all the fucking time. At least I assume it was the workers' comp people or the attorney for the company or somebody. I don't know who it was. Somebody followed me all the time, and they were always taking pictures of me. You know, taking pictures of me at concerts, taking pictures of me, you know, out with my family, whatever. So one day, you know, and you've been here, so you know, I have this room in the back that's kind of my office, and it has a door that leads to the backyard. And this is when the kids were little, like 2-3 years old, whatever. And the boys were out in the backyard playing in the backyard, and I was sitting in here playing on my computer or doing whatever I was doing. And I took a look outside at some point, and I saw a guy parked across the street, like just outside of my yard, taking pictures of my boys. So I fucking lost my goddamn mind, as I used to back then. And I grabbed a golf club, and I went out the front door and walked around to the other side and just fucking went up, and the guy jumped in his car, and I just smashed his fucking windshield and his side windows in with the golf club until the club broke. And I came back and sat, wait for the police.
Well, did the police show up?
Yeah, they came.
Mm-hmm.
They came, and nothing happened out of it. You know, I basically fucking told the police, I said, check his film, see if he's taking pictures of my kids.
Mm-hmm.
See if he's a fucking stalker. And then
Right.
he wouldn't give up the film, so then we just all kind of went our separate way.
Sure.
But
Well-
yeah, I've had some moments.
Well,
So I would a drone over my house, I'd absolutely shoot it out of the sky.
Sure.
Fuck yes.
well, when I used to work for Roadway back in the 80s, we had a guy who worked for us, and he was always claiming back injury all the time.
Okay.
And he would, you know, have time off of work and, you know, due to his back and this and that. Well, they did hire one of those guys that you beat with a club
Right.
to go
Okay.
out to go out and see if this guy was being legitimate.
Sure.
And they had photos of him on top of his roof, reshingling his roof.
Right. He was fine.
Yeah, he was fine.
Yep. Of course.
But, you know, that's what these insurance companies do to prove that, you know, whether the claim is legit or not. But they did catch this guy on his roof, shingling his roof.
Well, a lot of guys do fuck with it, you know, just take the money and sit home. But, you know, I think it was pretty clear I wasn't just taking the money and sitting home.
Sure.
You know, I think I went through something a little more serious than that, but they chose to follow me. So I was like, okay, whatever.
Absolutely.
Let's take a quick break.
All right, we can do that.
Right? Play like one song. I just need a piss break.
A piss break and a refresher on the drink.
Yeah. One, and then we'll finish.
All right. Well, what would you like to hear? Anything?
Since I'm going to go see Anthrax this week, how about Monster in the End from the new one?
All right. Some Anthrax.
Yeah.
Where are they playing?
Nautica.
Oh, that's right. That's right. You did tell me that.
Yep.
And the new one is called For All Kings.
Yep.
All right. And what's the name of the tune?
Monster in the End.
Monster. Okay.
Should be like track 2 or
Yep,
3 or
track
something.
2. You're absolutely right. All right. We're going to take a short break. We'll be back. Here's some Anthrax from the brand new one. It's good stuff. Just in your face Anthrax. So it's Anthrax exclusively here
on your Classic Metal Show.
Hey, this is Scotty in from Anthrax, and you're listening to the Classic Metal Show.